So before we get into the actual video game itself, there is something I do want to talk about. I want to talk about the events of the last couple of days that that led to the creation of this subreddit. So the one post on here kind of gives you an indication of why this subreddit had to be made. Sebastian Wick, Swick, as he went by in Freedesktop and GNOME Spaces, has now been banned off of Freedesktop. It's a temporary ban, so I honestly had never expected this to happen. Like, I've been watching the way he's interacted in that repo. I've seen the way people have interacted with him. I've seen how, like, people in the Code of Conduct Committee have really just not liked him for a very long time. And I'm honestly surprised that he's stuck around for this long. I feel like the reason why they didn't want to get rid of him earlier... Are you looking forward to seeing your videos get posted there? Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's absolutely gonna happen. Let me see if I can find it. Wayland... I feel like part of the reason why he didn't get banned earlier is this protocol. Draft, staging, add color management. This is part of the HDR color stack for Wayland. So yeah, yes, in a lot of protocols that involve like things that GNOME doesn't want to do, he's been very, how would you say, annoying? Yeah, we'll go with that one. That's the nicest way to put it. Because he's led this one, and he's been leading it for a couple of years now, and this has been a very productive protocol, I feel like this might be part of the reason he stuck around. So if you don't know why he actually got banned, so it's kind of hard to say, because a lot of like COC stuff is done like behind closed doors. But I have a feeling the thing that really set it over the edge is this discussion. So I haven't got the video out yet. It'll be out in probably, I reckon, tomorrow. I reckon I'll put it up tomorrow. So over in WL Roots, they now have a actual screen capture protocol. I'll see if I can find it, actually. I should be able to. EXT image copy capture. This one. So this is an actual screen capture protocol in, not just in WL Roots, in upstream Wayland. I very possibly, I don't know if he's talked about it. So this was added into, it was open 2 years ago. This is like a 6-year-long discussion. This was merged into upstream Wayland about, I think 3 or 4 days ago. So basically what it does is lets WL Roots and Cosmic as well, when they actually get it merged, right now it's a draft, is going to let these desktops to capture the or like let users capture the desktop without using a portal, if that's something that the desktop wants to implement. And WL Roots is going to implement it because that's what they already have with their older protocol that was WL Root specific. The difference is now it's not a WL Root specific project. No, you're thinking of Tim Peters. That's the Python guy. This is a GNOME guy. So they had this protocol in WL Roots, and it was only in WL Roots. Now it's in the upstream Wayland project. So now we have an officially supported screen capture protocol in Wayland. A way to do screen capture that isn't specifically using portals. This led to a big argument. So that guy there, Andre, whatever, we're going to call him Andre. Andre is the guy who actually made this protocol. So he was talking about the protocol getting merged. Thank you to all the people involved. Immersion, that's Simon Sir. That's the guy who runs WL Roots. Draculix is Victoria Breckenfield. This is the person who runs Smithy. Works at System 76 as well. Most people in here are like pretty, in favor of it because it's a cool protocol. Why does it keep going back to there instead of to his blog post? Sebastian decided to come in and basically start arguing with them about whether or not it's a good idea to use portals for this or protocols, and how Simon hates portals and doesn't want to use them, even though there is a portal implemented in WRoots. So, which is always fun to see. So he started arguing about that, and there was this thing about, it was like, what was the specific line? It's somewhere in here, but it was like, I want to say something to you that would get me banned from the code. Oh, it would be like against the code of conduct or something like that. So someone was like, so you're admitting that you want to break the code of conduct. And then it broke down to this big argument about like the code of conduct enforcement, whether the Freedesktop code of conduct is good. The people who are on the code of conduct committee are the same people on the Freedesktop board. So if you have a code of conduct issue, you can't go to the board to overturn the issue because the people on the committee are the same people on the board. So if the committee wants to do something, they basically own the board. Let me just tell you something, right? So when we talk about code of conduct enforcement, this is the third rail in projects like GNOME and Freedesktop. You do not talk about that unless you want to have issues. Off topic, is Flameshot still broken on Wayland? This protocol should actually help make it work. So, yes, but not as much. So, yeah, we don't know the full details. At this point, he is banned for about 3 months. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens after that. Are we talking about the guy that got banned from the GNOME board? No, this is a different person. So you're thinking of Sunny. Sunny got banned a couple of weeks ago. Or so I guess Sunny got banned a couple of months ago and went public a couple of weeks ago. Ronson was thinking of Tim Peters. That was the guy who got banned from the Python Foundation. This is Sebastien Wick. This is a guy... Don't ban me from chat. It's all good, man. Hello, my name is Virgil. Yes, we'll get to DMC in just a moment. So, I just wanted to bring this up. I did make a post on Reddit about it. 1r/Linux is my post. So, people do know about it. I'm probably not going to make a main channel video about it, but I did want to talk about it, and it's probably going to become uploaded on, like, my React channel. Isn't Swick the guy who said, I'll ensure this gets knack, from GNOME's end? Yes, that's the other thing, right? So, during... XDG placement. Yes, during XDG placement, the protocol about was it top level icon? Was it top level icon or XDG placement? It was one of those two. It was one of the ones that why am I blanking on his name now? I literally had him on the podcast ages back. What was his name? I keep blanking on his name. Wayland, top level. Matthias Klump. Yes. Matthias Klump. Yes. So, in one of those protocols, Sebastian really didn't like that protocol existed in the state that it was in. And he was like, I'm going to make sure this protocol gets a knack from GNOME. He is not a GNOME voting member. He doesn't have the ability to knack something. But... he basically was giving them an ultimatum and threatening them when he doesn't actually have the power to do that. And he kind of got, like, chewed out by GNOME people in the GNOME matrix for doing so, because he was then trying to get them to knack it. And they were like, we can't, no, you can't do that. Like, they realized it was like 3 years in at that point, or no, sorry, that one's a 6-month one. It was like 6 months in of constant discussion, and if they knacked it, they would have pissed off everybody. So they just could not touch it whatsoever. Isn't he also one of the main GTK devs? Probably. He's like a big guy in the GNOME space. And he is a very productive developer. He's just very abrasive, right? Like, he's not good at working with people that he disagrees with. That's the main problem. When he's dealing with, like, GNOME people, or it's a protocol everybody agrees on, he is a great developer. He's a great engineer. He's just not good at people. People are difficult. And I don't know if this is, like, an unwillingness to learn, or... like, just, I don't know what the issue is, but he's just very bad at dealing with people who disagree with him. He was also the guy who was against DRM leasing. Oh, yeah, he was against DRM leasing, the VR protocol, and then by the end, I'll grant him this one, he was involved in getting it merged, right? So he had a change of heart. I will give him that one, and that's really nice. But a lot of other protocols... that doesn't happen. A lot of other protocols he's just against, and against forever. Like Simon, for example. Simon was against the screen tearing protocol. Simon really hated the idea of screen tearing in Wayland. I think he was the first person to call it shit. Wayland screen tearing protocol. I'm pretty sure he was the very first person that told Xavier it was shit. Yep, he was the very first person. So Simon, by the end, had changed his mind on it. I think Simon was the one who ended up merging this protocol. So he had he actually merged it himself. So he had a change of heart. WRoots now has support for screen tearing. So yeah, maybe this will be Swick's redemption arc. I don't know. Like, he had one in DRM leasing, so maybe there's gonna be other ones. I don't know. But yeah. I'll keep an eye on what's happening here. If something changes, if he comes back, if he gets permabanned, I'll let you guys know about it. But until then, let's actually go and play video games.